Why do we say procrastination?
I don't know.
We should be saying procrastination. First of all,
I haven't thought about it that way.
Yeah, I just thought about that too. You see how
Yeah.
But you know what? One thing people say, I am a procrastinator. You're not a procrastinator. Procrastination is a habit that can be changed.
Just a little bite. One little bite won't hurt you.
So let's get into it.
All right.
Okay.
Procrastination is a habit that can be changed. You are not a procrastinator. And so from doing my research, I'm learning that procrastination starts with really a stress. It's really the mind and the body shutting down because you're stressed about other things and your mind is saying, I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like going to the gym. I'm not getting up and washing those dishes right now. No, I'm not doing it. But really the root of it is some stress going on. And so your body's looking for a stress reliever. And so you hit the Netflix and you hit the... So this is my research.
Okay.
Compliments of Mel Robbins.
You go into work, and when you get into work, you got stuff to do. You kind of walk in, and you got this big stress ball that subconsciously is hanging over your head. And so you walk in, and you sit down, and you know you got 13 phone calls you need to make. And you also know that you've been chickening out, you've been making easy calls, and there's a bunch of CIOs or other people that are higher level that you haven't been calling. And so as you sit down to do it, and you got the stress on your shoulders, your brain it starts to go, wait a minute, well, you want me to make a call to somebody that I'm scared to make? Absolutely not. I'm so stressed out about, can we just watch some cat videos for a minute? And next thing you know, an hour's gone by.
What is procrastination to you?
To me is fear.
Really?
Fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of doing the thing that I should be doing. Because procrastination means that you're supposed to be doing something, but you're not doing it in lieu of doing something else, perhaps, or not doing nothing at all. But why are you not doing the thing that you should be doing the thing? And the reason for me, partly, is fear that, one, I may not do it the right way or correctly, or fear that if I do it, people will judge me or say something about it.
Is it really fear?
It is fear.
Because you've done it before, and I'm thinking about your writing. You've done it.
Right.
You know you can do it.
Right. And then it's also, okay, I wrote one book, and I want the second book to be just as good or even more successful. So the fear is that maybe what I'm putting out is not as good as the first one. And people are going to judge me for that. So that's what I mean by fear.
I totally hear you. You know, for me, for some reason, whenever I think about the things I have to get done, like right now I have 3 deadlines who are looming fast. October 4th, I'm doing a pitch thing, and then October 15th, I have a grant deadline. November 15th, I have a grant deadline. And these are important dates for me to get these things done.
Right.
And I'll be damned. I will drag my butt to the last freaking minute. And, you know, for some reason I have this kind of, I don't know, this attitude like, well, I get really creative if I...
In the last hour?
Yeah. I get really creative, or an idea shows up that I wouldn't have thought of. I mean, it's a stupid thing.
That's your excuses for...
So you're not falling for what I just said? It could be that you're stressed about something else that you really worried about. And so your body's just like, not now.
I think for some people, maybe that's the reason they're holding back. But I think procrastination is different for many people. The reasons behind why they not doing the thing they're supposed to be doing. And like to Mary's point, I used to be like that in college. I used to be like, I'm going to burn it out the 24 hours and study. Everything is going to cram in at the 11th hour. And for some people, it's like, you know what? I'm afraid if I do it, I'm going to be judged or commented and stuff like that. And to your point, it could be stress. It's, you know, I don't want to do this right now because I'm thinking about and worried about certain things.
Yeah, you're worried about finances or... I mean, it kind of made sense to me because I'm like, why do we not just get up and do it when you know you have to do it anyway.
Oh, I know. I have to get this done.
Right.
There's no way around
So
it.
that's the question. Like, what is going on that my
But don't
body-
you think that some of that is back to some of our previous conversations about holding ourselves accountable? Is that we will show up for everybody else, but when it comes to us, we try to like make excuses, put it on the back burner, and that goes back. Do you hold the same value that you hold to, that maybe say your friend or your mother or your coworker
kids,
or your employer?
Right.
Why don't you have that same oomph, that same energy when it comes to saying what you're going to do for yourself?
I think
So-
you're right when you say that it is about this deep feeling of fear.
Right.
Because let's say I take time and I really hone in and I really craft it and this
Right.
and that, it doesn't matter. I still get rejected.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to try and think differently about this.
mindset, right?
Yes.
Exactly. You know, we talked earlier in this idea about envisioning the way you want to live,
Right.
being intentional.
Absolutely.
So I'm working hard to say, okay, if I have these things that I would like to get done by X, how can I make a daily investment into, or if I can't do it daily, how can I make it so that it's a priority in my week? Or if somehow I think, okay, I want it to be done by X, so how can I back into that and figure out, well, what will it take me to get whatever that is done and feel confident and secure to get it done by that date. And I think if I don't give it some attention during the week or some, I have to set aside time. For me, what I'm learning is I have to say no to things.
So you're overwhelming yourself with everything else?
Yeah, I will suddenly allow myself, for friends who want to go out to dinner and celebrate.
No, but you're right.
I'm having to learn
You have
to
to
say
say
no.
no.
And
I'm proud of you.
Hard.
It is.
I get
It
it.
is so hard to say no.
I get
Right.
it.
I
Totally.
want to say
Because
yes.
everything seems to be so important.
Yeah.
But
You have
your
to say
goal
no.
and what you need to do is equally important,
Exactly.
if not more so.
Yes.
That goes back to what you said someone said to you. Like, you got time to go out, but you ain't got time to write. I mean,
Right. I see you living your best life, but when's the book coming out? Right. We're going to wait another 10 years before you write this book.
I know.
And I'm like, and that's the procrastination
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
me not writing, thinking that, okay, what I wrote, I'm going to say this second book, I rewrote it maybe 3 times already.
Really?
Yes. So after the first book, I immediately went into the second one writing. And then, you know how well, for me, writing, when you leave a work down for a period of time, you go back to it, it's not as, you're like, oh, what the hell was I thinking? And that's the way I felt. So I rewrote it again. And then as I got feedback from the second book, I didn't like the feedback. I was like, okay, I'm going to rewrite this again. So I'm on to my third rewrite. And then at one point, as a writer, you need to let it go.
Yeah.
It's
Let
the
that
ship
baby go.
Let the baby go. It's like
Cut that umbilical cord.
Exactly. Cut the umbilical cord and let it go out to the masses and know that you put your best foot forward.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's what I have to accept me as a writer.
Yes.
But just generally in procrastination, it's like, there's a quote and I can't remember the exact way it was said, but something to the effect of procrastinating makes today easy, but tomorrow harder.
Right.
Oh, that is
I
so
really like
true.
that.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
And I'm going to
Yes.
stick with it is a habit, and we know habits can be changed. I'm going with that.
So how are you changing your procrastination?
I'm doing baby steps. So making big tasks smaller.
That's a good
Doing
idea.
2 minutes instead of trying to say, I'm going to knock it out in 1 hour.
Baby steps? It means setting small, reasonable goals for yourself, one day at a time. One tiny step at a time.
Baby steps.
For instance, when you leave this office, don't think about everything you have to do in order to get out of the building. Just think of what you must do to get out of this room. And when you get to the hall, deal with that hall, and so forth. You see?
Baby steps.
Baby steps. Oh, boy.
2 minutes right now. Reward myself.
For 2 minutes.
Just
Just know
I will.
that
I
that
agree.
20 minutes of walking is not 2 minute intervals.
All right. You got it. You got
Right.
it. You got it.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, do a little at a time. And and really, they said research, and y'all can look this up. Research has shown once you get started,
Yeah.
you're gonna keep going.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So it's just getting started.
Yeah.
So if you say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna do my 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But once I get into my 2 minutes,
That's it.
now I'm gonna keep going.
You know, that's the guy, Atomic Habits.
I was about to say him, James Clear.
James Clear. Whenever I
Yes.
think about
Yes.
breaking tasks down, because when he talks about,
Mhm.
which I would be irritated,
Mhm.
he talks about, flossing one tooth.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he got himself to start doing
Right.
the dental flossing every day. Is he just agreed to floss
At least one.
At least one.
Yes.
But once you get up in
Right.
there,
Once
You
you
wanna
get
do
started,
more.
you want to do more. You can't hardly stop from
Yes.
doing more than one.
right,
Yes.
right.
That's the same thing with writing. That's why writing
Right.
prompts help.
Yeah.
When you do a writing prompt, you start with just one sentence or a phrase, and before you know it, the muses are talking to you, and you got ideas, and
Right.
you start, and you can keep going.
So
and
it's
you
getting
continue.
started.
So those small, I understand what you mean by
That
those
little
small
2 minutes,
chunks.
yeah.
will help you
Mhm.
get there. And then also to that point, building atomic habits, building a new habit on top of
Yeah,
that, like
That's
habit
what I mean.
stacking.
Right.
Habits.
Yeah,
Change the
yes,
habit.
Yes. So if your 2 minutes is gonna help you towards that goal, do the 2 minutes, and then maybe do one action on top of that.
Right. Right.
Whatever it
Yes.
is. So my goal is our 30-day challenge is the writing for 1 hour. It will be the writing for 1 hour, and then maybe do one post about my writing.
Oh, that's
Right.
a great idea.
That's a habit
action.
stack,
Yeah.
action on
Yeah.
top of
So
that.
that's perfect.
Yes.
Yes.
Like I said, I want to get up in the morning and do my 20-minute walking. So now I'm going to make sure everything is set the night before, right near the bed. Don't reach for the phone. That's not the first thing you're going to do.
Yeah.
You're going to reach for your little sneakers, get your
Right.
freaking leggings
Yes.
and action,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yep.
And what are you gonna do when the weather is bad?
When the weather is bad, I don't want to lie. Because I was getting ready to lie. In bad weather, without the lies, because the lies are sitting right here like, this is what
Yeah.
you can say, Keisha.
Yes.
I know.
I'm going to, because I have my light weights
Right.
on the side of the bed.
Right.
Okay.
So I'll just pick up the weights and...
No, but that's not what we committed to.
That's
Walking
not
for
walking.
20
Maybe...
minutes.
All right, so now I'm getting ready to lie. So
Yeah.
go to the gym.
Yeah.
You can do it in your house.
Walk in
You
your
can
I
walk
cannot
ar-
walk in the house.
Why not?
Just walk around the house.
For 20, set the timer, be on your phone, walking, moving.
Yeah.
Or you can even walk in place. What's treadmills? When you go to the gym, you're doing the same
Okay,
thing. You're
that's
in
true.
one place
Yep.
for that 20 minutes. So you can even
All right.
walk in place
That
for
makes
20
sense.
minutes.
Oh, I like that even better.
There you
Because
go.
then I can put the TV on.
There you go.
You know?
But we
Put
want
the
you to be
TV on.
outside.
Yeah.
You want me outside.
But I'm
So,
saying-
in bad
No,
weather.
In bad weather.
Okay.
If we're going to commit to
That's the
it,
deal.
we're going
Committing
to
to
also make sure that we silence the noise, the excuses.
You're right.
That's
Oh
going to
my
come
God,
with it.
the
Playtime
noise
is
and the
over.
excuses.
Playtime
Yes.
is
So good.
Because they can come. They're going to come right now.
They was
Oh,
right
yeah.
here in my
Yeah.
head. Like, Keisha.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember using an excuse like there was some breaking news, and it was like, oh, I gotta tune in and watch this and not do what I have to do. Breaking
do
news
that.
got nothing to do with me.
No.
Breaking news came on.
And it's going to be on later, on the later
exactly.
news.
I'm like, oh, I need to watch. It's funny how we make these
Oh,
excuses for
that's true.
ourselves.
Yeah, because I guess part of it is that for some reason showing up for ourselves isn't an easy practice.
Because
And-
we disappointed ourselves so many times before.
Right. We have not kept the promises that
Right.
we've made to ourselves
Yes.
in the past.
Yes.
So every time, and that's one of the things I work towards, is I have a calendar. I live by my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
I put whatever it is, like for example, I've got these deadlines, so saying no is one of the criteria, which
Right.
is tough.
You
And the
take
other
that.
thing is that, giving myself breaks, but taking and doing, okay, I'm going to do this hour here, take a 15-minute break,
Mm-hmm.
and then do another
Be
hour.
realistic, too, right?
Exactly.
Be realistic.
Be realistic. Focus on what I know is urgent and
Right.
work a little bit towards it's looming.
Right.
Because you're right. Whenever you think about Olympic athletes,
Mm-hmm.
even though, like I love Usain Bolt, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't learn to do that fast run just for however many minutes that was. He
trained for hours.
trained.
hours.
You know, you look at all, I mean,
Hours.
athletes really are the easiest.
Mhm.
So we have to take that same approach. If we're going to be someone who is of Olympic status
Absolutely.
You got to start.
Michael Jordan.
or anything,
Kobe Bryant.
They said Kobe would.
you got
While the guys were out partying,
Kobe
he was
was
on the court practicing at 5 in the
He was
morning.
practicing more than anybody.
Yes.
So I think to me, that's the lesson I'm trying to incorporate
Right.
is saying no, despite the fact that I feel pulled to
Right.
do things.
Right.
I need to step up. If I really see myself in a different place next
Right.
year, I
Absolutely.
have to say no. I have to step up on my
Right.
schedule. I need to focus, make my time and
Yes.
count
Yes.
towards the things
Right.
I really aspire to accomplish.
Right.
And
So
that's
back to
not
And
easy.
even if,
James Clear, I'm saying,
Yeah.
because Atomic Habits, and he talks about that people are more likely to stick to something if they set a certain date and time in the future.
Exactly.
So if you know that you're going to walk for 20 minutes, the night before, I'm scheduling between 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. to walk.
Right.
That is your time.
Yeah.
Don't let nothing, no
Okay.
breaking news, and then you, and then
I have to be here.
Right. I gotta listen to this. Right. No, that is your time. The same way if you're going to a doctor for a medical procedure, you ain't gonna tell this doctor or surgeon, "Oh, breaking news," and I couldn't come to the surgery. You know?
Right.
You're gonna make sure you set that time because you have to be there. So be there for
Yeah.
yourself. Set
Yeah.
that time and date. You know, and plan beforehand. You're more likely to stick with it if you
Yes.
plan beforehand. If
Plan.
you let the day, I always say, if you let the day run you, it's gonna run you.
Yeah.
And all the excuses are gonna come up. Oh, the cat ate my homework. The children are running the miss. I had to be then. But if you know
The
between
stress.
4 and 5, I'm writing. 4 and 5, Mary Kay is posting.
Yeah.
4 and 5, Keisha is walking. Nothing. Unless, God forbid, the earth opens up and Jesus is coming. You better be where you have to be.
you better be
And
walking.
I think
Yeah.
you come up with those top 3 things that you
Right.
need to focus on each day, whatever
Yeah.
that is. They're
Yeah.
like the top 3.
Right.
And that's the thing that you have to make certain you give your time towards.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm not trying. I am putting together like your schedule every Sunday. I review the week. I look at how I'm going to map out things
Right.
and where I'd like to see myself by the
Yes.
next week.
Yes.
How many times have I practiced this? How many times have I, taken and
good.
edited this?
That's
How
good.
many
Right.
times have
You're
I?
tracking everything.
I am tracking everything.
Because
that.
what you track will lead you to your success.
You're right.
I thought you was
because
getting ready to say a rap. Like, what you track is
What
what
you
you rap.
something. If you don't measure it, you can't change it.
That's true.
Y'all are
I like
deep.
that. I like that. Mary's coming up with the bars, all right?
That was the
All we
bar right
need-
there.
Right?
I'm going to tell you.
Yes.
I mean, I've learned this by losing the weight.
Yes.
I mean, I know I had gotten into a fight with somebody about weighing myself every day.
Right.
But even though it's sometimes it's troublesome because your weight fluctuates.
Right.
I at least know where I'm anchoring myself.
Yes.
I've weighed myself.
Yeah.
I take my measurements once a month.
Mm-hmm.
I track my food. I track my water.
That's
That's
true.
good.
I track a lot.
Yes. It's true. It's true. Because sometimes, even with the weight management, I've been doing that. And I noticed that when you start writing down everything that goes into your mouth, people are like, damn, I be eating a lot of stuff.
Exactly.
You don't realize it.
And I'm
because you're
stressed.
busy.
When I'm stressed,
Oh, really?
Me too.
everything goes.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing that.
Yeah. Yes. And just we go back to habit stacking. So as well as I'm tracking, I'm making sure I have enough water. So everywhere I sit, I'm making sure I have water around me.
Right.
Because I realize that the more water I drink, I'm not as hungry as I thought I was.
Yeah, because it's filling your stomach up.
Yes,
the
and that's
fluid,
what that's what it is.
cleansing. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it is.
that's true.
Yeah.
So
So
very
if
true.
you can track it, you can change it.
Right.
So, procrastination, I think, is something everyone suffers
Everyone
with.
deals with it.
Right. Yes.
And I don't know. I was thinking the stress sometimes will, and I'm speaking really for myself. I know when I'm stressed out. The situation with my friend, that really, really took a toll on me.
Well, yes.
And-
loved ones not being well
Yeah,
always. I mean,
it took a toll on
that
me.
that would affect me.
So
and but to that point, there's a time for everything, and that time that you needed to process it and
That's what
heal
it
and be
was.
with her.
Right.
You give him that. You give him that
Right,
time.
right.
And
And
the
that's
point is not to stay in that time.
Right.
Because then we're gonna use it as a crutch. Before you know it,
No, you're
we're
right.
using that as a means as why we're not doing what we're seeing.
I think that's what it is. I had to process.
Yes.
I had to process.
Yes. And it's important as human beings. We're not,
Yeah.
the reason why we're different from other animals is because we have that innate empathy in us to, be there for someone and empathize with that person.
Right.
And then,
well, we all realize
to
it could be us.
Yeah.
Or someone who is my
Yes.
partner or my child.
Right.
Because
nothing,
whether we like it or not,
right.
We all will end.
Yes.
And that's what's hard to deal with.
Yes.
I know that contributed to my procrastination.
Right.
My recent procrastination.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But
now we're slowly picking up and realizing
Mama is back.
Oh,
Mama is ready.
Okay.
Yes.
So Mama will be walking.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
In place when it rains.
Okay.
Rain, sleet, or snow. Breaking news or not.
And also, too,
Turn it off.
We've got this last few months of the year. And
This is
when we
what
really
count.
look
We wanna
back,
finish.
we want to say,
We get ready
wow.
to the end of the year.
Yes.
We want to look back and say, you know what? I made the most of the time of this past year. Look at where we've come.
Yeah.
Right. That's true.
And I like to do that, like a recap and
I do
check off the
too.
boxes.
Yeah.
Like I did this, and I did this.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to a year gone by, and what did I do? I didn't do nothing. No.
Hello.
Right.
That's
Talk
horrible.
about sheer procrastination.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
It is.
I want to change it to concrastination.
Good luck on that fight.
Yeah, right.
Because
I think not a pro.
But then con, I also think of something bad too, like constraints, con man.
Yeah.
So let's just.
I like that
kick it.
Mel Robbins said,
Yes,
don't claim it as I am a procrastinator. Do
Right.
not claim that. No.
Right.
No.
I procrastinate at times, and I'm going to stop.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm going to change it.
Me too.
Can't wait to see those videos.
Baby
I can't wait either.
Those 20-minute videos. I can't wait to
It's going
see
to be
it.
amazing. And she will send the text.
Right.
know.
Right.
So
All
waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're wrapping it up.
We are.
So if you are procrastinating,
Yes, if you're procrastinating.
if it's a habit, it can be changed.
It
Yes.
can be changed.
We're going to change.
We are.
We're trying.
Yes. Watch us evolve
Evolving here.
and changing.
So
The
check us
three-
out every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday, the
Yeah.
Three Ladies Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Keisha, Mary, and Yo-Yo.
MC.
You know, I like to say that. It just roll off my tongue.
I know.